So I don't know if you've heard, but the Democrats are pretty upset. The fact that Elon Musk is wanting to audit the IRS and Treasury. If we have nothing to hide as a government and as a bureaucracy, why are they so opposed to an audit? When we hear that our company is getting audited, it doesn't really affect me because, to be honest with you, we're doing everything on the up and up. What are the Democrats so afraid of? Also, what are they doing? They literally called people to the streets last night and to persecute and prosecute Elon, all because he's willing to stand up for the taxpayers and the job that Trump tasked him to do. We're going to discuss that. We're also going to discuss what Trump just said about Gaza and how it's causing a global panic. Then we're also going to discuss the AI wars, how dangerous it is, and how there's an ex-Google AI supervisor or technician that just got caught doing something he shouldn't have done. Also, you know your investment, how everybody's telling you to get in crypto when gold is skyrocketing, but crypto's the answer. We're going to talk about what BlackRock just said about crypto and how it seems like everybody's moving towards these digital platforms and we're just okay with it. Well, I'm not. We're going to discuss all that and a little bit more today. Let's dive into these stories. This video starts right now. Hey guys, welcome to the channel today. We appreciate you for being here. If you are new and like the content, please give us a thumbs up. It means the world to us, and we humbly ask that you will subscribe if you like today's video, because there's a lot of good videos, and go check them out. We want you to check out our channel, but every day we try to bring you something that's going to help you gain more wisdom, have a common sense approach, and try to live a better life, understanding how to raise our families in this crazy, chaotic world. Now let's jump into the stories of the day. First, let's talk about BlackRock. You know, I've told you for so long, the digitized currency, the CBDC, was a major push. And of course, freedom-minded folks were pushing against it. But then, for the life of me, I don't understand how libertarians and freedom-minded folks, conservatives, push towards a cryptocurrency, because it is not at all parallel. It is on a system that can be hacked. It's on a platform or an app that can be hacked. Now, people say, oh, you can't do that. Well, what the platform can do is they could withhold giving your funds out. I've told you a story before about a little crypto we had years ago, and we couldn't even get it off. It was like $300 or $400, not much. It was years and years and years ago. But it's one of those cases where, why do we want to put our money in something that is not as accessible as cash or gold? Well, here's an example of why I think it's dangerous. We have pushed away from a digitized currency, that our stable coin that's owned by the government, like a world currency that is a true crypto or a digital currency. Here's why I think it's a problem, though. Because now conservatives are so excited because Trump is more of a called crypto president. I mean, he's got a crypto czar. I actually like David Sachs. I think that you can play and have fun with crypto, but it does not need to be utilized as your main source of income. So this is why. There's a new report that says BlackRock boost its crypto market with more Ethereum and Bitcoin purchases. They are looking to get more into this space. It says BlackRock, a leading financial institution, made significant investments in Ethereum and Bitcoin in early February. On February 4th, BlackRock's spot Ethereum ETFs saw a record-breaking inflow of, listen to this, $307 million, and on February 5th purchased of 276 more of Ethereum. Additionally, BlackRock invested another $249 million in Bitcoin, signaling their acceptance of cryptocurrency. So we're pushing against the government having a say in our life on digitized currency because we know it's more surveillance. But then we're okay with pushing to a system that we call parallel, but absolutely it's not, because you have more of the bigger players that's in the banking, that's in the stock markets, that's now getting to the crypto space, which will ultimately be over your money. If you're against digitized currency by the government, why are you for digitized currency by big business that is tied to the government? Help me understand that. Again, if you want to play with the little funds and have some fun playing crypto, playing memes and NFTs, have fun. But it's not supposed to be the system based on this new money. We cannot allow our dollar to falter to crypto. Also, we can't allow for us not to miss out on opportunities with gold. I mean, again, I've told you about gold. It's skyrocketing like crazy. More has been put into the vaults in most countries because everyone knows, no matter what you think of crypto, what you think of a yen, what you think of a dollar, a euro, gold is always going to be there because it's always been there. Now, it's expensive right now, So you may not want to buy it. You may want to look at gold stop options. You may want to buy silver. I understand. Or you may just want to put up some cash. Try to get on a budget and start putting up some of these funds, but don't put all your money in thought pattern thinking that crypto is going to be so much better for you, because now we see the biggest and most dangerous banks that have the global initiatives literally investing more and more and more. What did I tell you a few weeks ago? You can have a neighborhood with an HOA, but if all of a sudden you see one neighbor starting to buy every house in the HOA, that doesn't mean they own the HOA, but they have a bigger significant role, and they can have a bigger significant thought pattern on how the HOA should be managed. Well, it's the same thing with crypto. The more that BlackRock or any institution has a foothold in something, the more they have the say over it. And the more you see the government getting involved with the SEC and the FCC and basing commodities versus collectibles, the more you start seeing that, the more it's not a parallel society. It's following right in the footsteps of true digitized currencies that will know exactly what you're purchasing each and every day. Still moving on with some more technological things before we move on to Elon. There was an ex-Google engineer that was just busted for stealing AI trade secrets to give to China. It's unbelievable. A former Google software engineer, Mr. Ding, has been charged with stealing AI trade secrets and allegedly funneling to China. Now, we've heard these kind of stories before where we see people that are working in our government, people that are married to people in our government, people that are working as pages and clerks, people that are working in software engineers that's actually funneling a lot of our knowledge and wisdom and also our security back to China. We've seen this play out, especially in California. But more than that, you're starting to see the AI race get more intense because it's like I told you before, it's almost like a nuclear arms race. The dangers of it is unbelievable. And so, are they stealing our tech? Possibly. But it's amazing how we're not vetting these people better to say this could have happened. It says prosecutors said he stole supercomputing chips designed to secrets that could help benefit the Chinese government. Now, I'm glad we busted this guy. The question is, how many more did we not bust? How many more secrets of ours went to a foreign government, no matter what the government is? So the more we allow for, personally, the more we allow people not to assimilate into our culture, like we've talked about with this whole immigration situation. I have no problem with people coming over here legally, truthfully. But at the same time, we have to understand that if you come here, this needs to be your this needs to be your only citizenship. I really believe that. I believe we need to get away from dual citizenships with any country. And I know people will kick back on that, but if you have to renounce another citizenship to go to a foreign country to get citizenship or a visa or some kind of movement, then you need to assimilate to that culture, and you need to know, and we need to know, and every country needs to know, that there's no chance where you're going backwards and going to be some kind of double agent or spy. This is exactly what's happening here. Supercomputing chips that would help the Chinese government to get information on Google. This is dangerous. Now let's jump on to Elon Musk and the Democrats, how they're up in arms. There's a story that came out that Elon Musk is working line by line through the Treasury Department. He had to get special access, and also the IRS is next. Well, this is when Chuck Schumer, Elizabeth Warren, Jasmine Crockett, all these people, the Presley lady, everyone went and they were actually calling people to the streets in the name of protesting this, and also saying that Elon should be locked up for this. Now I want to kind of, let's think about this just for a second. You have a man who is literally trying to save every taxpayer money to say, okay, all your money is being wasted and funneled to things that shouldn't be funneled to. The IRS and Treasury, who is really over your money more than any other aspect other than the Fed, over your money in our government. And the Democrats and the establishment is up in arms about it. Well, as I said in the intro, if we have nothing to hide, why in the world would they not want an audit to take place? Yeah, it's paperwork, it's hard, but to be honest with you, if we're not doing anything wrong, why would it matter? It's kind of like going through a roadblock. You know, you've went through roadblocks with police intersections, checking license and things like that. Well, if we did nothing wrong, nothing's in my car, I'm just going to go through, give him my license, say, have a nice day, and he's going to say, have a nice day, and I'm going to pull through. It's no big deal. Well, the audit's the same way. But if you have something to hide or something's in that car and you're going through a roadblock, it may be a problem. Well, why are the Democrats and the bureaucracy nervous You're starting to see FBI, CIA, and IRS take buyouts that Trump has offered, which is huge. That is a great move by Trump. He's saying, I'm going to buy you out for a certain amount of months. You walk away, you get a severance or a cut package, and basically what it does is it saves the taxpayers millions upon millions upon millions of dollars for paying fluff workers not to do their job. So now we see the fact that our government's too inflated. We have too many employees. What we're seeing now is the waste of spending with the USAID report that basically was just complete and utter nonsense in spending. And now that we're going through the IRS and the Treasury Department, people are up in arms. Elon said that he'd already found fraudulent payments to terror groups and fraudulent payments to known fraud, and they allowed it to take place. So when people are standing against that, that means they have something to hide. Elizabeth Warren and Chuck Schumer are literally up in arms about it. It's kind of the same way that Elizabeth Warren was upset with RFK. Well, it's because she got $1.5 million last year from pharma. It's pretty good thought pattern that she's probably just a sellout, and that's why she doesn't like RFK, because she gets lined pockets from these lobbyists. So the same way, I think this is a great move. I would love to see the dismantling of, just like Trump is working on Department of Education today, how he did USAID. I hope to see the IRS go away too, especially in the capacity they're in now. And the only way to do that is with Elon and Trump working through Doge to get it done. The more they bring this kind of stuff to the forefront of the populace of Americans, and 70, 80, 100, 200 million people see that and see the waste in the government, I think the more it makes Trump look better, even to the Democrats. There was a comment made by Dana White yesterday when he was being interviewed by Tucker Carlson. He said, I don't know too many liberals now that are willing to stand with the politicians and not say, wow, I'm glad to see these things not taking place. He said, there's not one liberal friend I have that actually is so liberal that they don't like Trump and what he's doing for Americans, because they realize, even though they may not like his rhetoric, he is working for the American people and saving tax dollars. And honestly, helping America do the things that America should have been doing the whole time. Promises made, promises kept. Now, the last two stories I want to bring up, because they kind of go hand in hand. Now, you know, the Democrats called people to go in the streets last night, and there was some protest in some of these cities. Why these cities are allowing this to take place, and not only that, to fly different flags on our ground, foreign flags on our ground. Not only that, last night there was a protest that was happening in the cities, and most of the cities had some representation of a Palestinian flag or a Hamas flag. Now, why is that a big deal? Well, because yesterday and the day before, Trump's had a relationship with the Israeli Netanyahu, and basically they started talking about some of this. Now, I'm going to probably make some of you mad. I don't understand. I mean, for instance, if you look at biblical times and you look at the Bible, the people of Palestine were the Philistines. They've always been in peril, and they're always going to be in peril. It's Israel's land. It's Israel's land. And what Trump said yesterday is he's going to basically fix it, and he's trying to work out a deal with Jordan and Egypt to take the Palestinian people and the Gazan people. You may not like that, but if we talk history and we talk the fact of what's happened, the two-party state is not working. Every politician wants to make this take place, and it does not work. It is not working. It's not worked for hundreds of years. It's not actually worked for thousands of years if you go to the biblical days. No matter what you think, the strongest player in the neighborhood over there in the Middle East is Israel. That is our best trade ally, and also, to be honest with you, the best intelligence that we could possibly have in the Middle East. Yesterday, we did an arms deal with them. They purchased the arms. If Ukraine wants to purchase things, I'm fine with that. That's not what's been happening. We've been giving money, taxpayer dollars, to Ukraine. If we loan it, like Trump said yesterday, Trump made a comment. He said, look, for all the money they owe us, Ukraine, and we've given them, I want the rare earth minerals. So if they want an arms deal, or they want money, then I want the rare earth minerals in Ukraine. That is a negotiation and leverage. Guess what? Zelensky said he may be open to it. But then he came back and said this: I'm ready to be at the negotiating table. He told Piers Morgan yesterday, I'm ready to sit down with Putin and us negotiate. You know why he's saying that? Because Trump's got a meeting with Putin very soon, and Zelensky is not supposed to be there. It's called leverage. Every day I get emails and I get Twitter comments, and then I get comments on here about how the tariffs are going to ruin everything and it's terrible. This is all all these talks about the tariffs, all these talks about all this going on with Panama, Greenland, Trump may be serious, but what he's actually doing is holding leverage to where he can make the comment to say, this is what we're going to do. If you don't want this to happen, then you will feel the problem that America's going to give you. If it's trade or if it's whatever it may be. Panama, will we own Panama again? I don't know. If we don't, what we did is we already stopped the flow of the Belt and Road Initiative with China. We've already said and threatened that fact that if he does not get his crap together at Panama, then basically we will take it over. That threat came to a point where it may not take us, quote unquote, taking it over. It just means we had leverage. Greenland, guess what? Denmark now is saying, well, America, we can allow you to put more military bases there. We can allow you to have more presence there. We can allow you to do better trade there. We want to still own Greenland, but to be honest with you, we're going to give you more rights to it. Will we own Greenland? I don't know. But if we have rights to the rare earth minerals, we work out a negotiation where we're paying the people of Greenland, not Denmark, to help them out. Look, they had a blackout that lasted weeks. Could they use our internet? Could they use our utilities? Could we have a new trade partner better with the northern part of the hemisphere? Possibly. Did we get a lot from the Canadian workout for the 30-day hold? And people are like, oh, Trump just gave in. Trump didn't give in. Our dollar was not struggling. Our dollar was looking great compared to the Canadian dollar. The Canadian dollar was faltering, and now we've got billions and now 10,000 troops of Canadian troops on the border, all because leverage. Did it take a tariff? It took a threat of a tariff. It took, 5 hours, 6 hours of a tariff? But then it changed. Now, we're starting a trade war with China. It's going to be a lot bigger. But we're already handling the Panama Canal with China. We see that they're an adversary because, again, we just busted a Chinese spy here in one of the biggest tech companies in America. So it's now time to see Trump play 4D chess with leverage against other parts of the world. And you're going to see that. It does not take war. It does not take troops. It just takes a strong businessman who is willing to work for the American people. And that's what I do like about this administration. I can't wait to see what Pam Bondi does. I can't wait to see what RFK does. I can't wait to see what Tulsi does. Kash Patel, I cannot wait because I actually am a huge Kash Patel person. I think he's a great patriot, and I think he's going to do a great job at FBI. Things are changing, and it's a great time in history to live. We're seeing America come back to almost a Renaissance period or a golden age. Does that mean we're perfect? No. Does that mean everything's going to be easy? Nope. But what it does mean is American people are actually getting a voice back in Washington. And again, the Democrats and the bureaucracy is up in arms that they're going to audit your tax dollars to make sure that it's not being spent on frivolous things. Again, what are they hiding and why would they not be okay with abolishing some of this bureaucratic class and getting rid of some of all the spending and wasteful, frivolous nothings that we're doing as a government? Mind-blowing. Guys, let me know your thoughts on this video. Again, it's one of those cases where there's great things happening, and I'm excited to be alive during this time. But ultimately, I do rely on not American to be exceptional, but that God can use America to be sitting on a hill. As a Christian, there's a lot taking place when it comes to Israel, when it comes to the Middle East, when it comes to some of the things that are happening around America that you're starting to see people turn back to faith, especially some of the younger generation. Some of the men are coming back to faith. That's a good sign. And I hope we see more of that. I hope we start seeing a Renaissance movement when it comes to family, how important it is to establish family, establish children, and to build a life that a lot of times our grandparents had and our great-grandparents had because they lived in America that was free and that was everybody was happy to be an American. I'm anxious for that time again. And I think we're getting there, and I hope we get there. And it's a fun time to be alive to watch what's going on. We hope that you have a wonderful day. God bless.